In today's episode of my gluten-free Disney Kitchen, we are about to embark on a fried gluten-free bonanza because we are making the fried chicken from 50's Primetime Cafe. Now this is something you can actually get at 50's Primetime Cafe if you make advance notice with special diets at Disney. It's a nice gluten-free version of Aunt Liz's golden fried chicken that's on their regular menu, just gluten-free. It does take a bit of time to prepare, and that's why they ask for some advance notice. But if you aren't at 50's Primetime or you just want to make this at home, we're going to recreate this right now and you can see how easy it is. So I'm taking a recipe that's sort of modified from the original recipe, and I've actually tweaked it a little bit. So the first sort of key ingredient is we need some flour. So 50's Primetime Cafe actually uses rice flour for their fried chicken. We're going to use a gluten-free all-purpose flour. You can use whatever one you want, sort of a one-to-one version. If you want to use rice flour, you can. If you want to use an all-purpose flour, go for it. So that's what I did. It also, the recipe requires several different spices like onion powder and salt and pepper and different kinds of things like paprika. I just used a certified gluten-free sort of all like seasoning mix, so it has all that stuff in it. So I just put a tablespoon of that in there. I'm doing a 1 portion serving, so I did a half a cup of all-purpose flour that's gluten-free, and then I also did a cup or a tablespoon of the seasoning. So all we're gonna do is we've got this as a base, as a shallow base. You could use sort of an egg wash if you wanted to dredge it. You could definitely do that. We're just gonna do it dry because that's actually what they do at 50's Primetime. So we're just gonna make sure we coat our chicken well. So I actually put in just 1 chicken breast. It's a boneless, skinless chicken breast. And we're just gonna cover it with our all-purpose flour. So just make sure it's nice and coated. Again, it's totally up to you and your special dietary needs if you wanna coat it with water or an egg wash. I just like to make sure that it's nice and properly covered with as much of the all-purpose flour as possible. And that way it gets nice and crispy. The other key, which we have right behind us, are my sides. I'm preparing those. And I have a Dutch oven pan, which is a cast iron enamel skillet pan with oil in it that's heating up. So everything gets nice and crispy. So I think we've got this nicely coated. You're gonna wanna just sort of shake it off so it doesn't have too much excess flour on it, but you can see, nice and coated there. And so we're just gonna stick this into our hot oil right now. And so with the magic of this video, in just a minute, we are going to flip this, and then we're gonna start to have amazing gluten-free fried chicken. So you can hear all the sizzling. You can see that our chicken is frying right now in our Dutch oven. And we've also got some side dishes, which I'm gonna talk to you about really quickly. So of course, Aunt Liz's golden fried chicken is made with mashed potatoes and seasoned vegetables. So I've got some peas and carrots sauteing in some extra virgin olive oil. Right behind me, you could also add maybe coconut oil or bacon grease, whatever kind of oil you want to use to saute that with salt and pepper. And then I'm also getting ready to prepare some mashed potatoes. So you can make these as you normally would if you use non-dairy milk or chicken broth or even extra virgin olive oil to whip those potatoes. However you like. This is going to make the perfect side to our fried chicken that we're going to flip over in just a minute. So here's a pro tip when it comes to frying chicken. Resist the urge to check on it every 2 seconds because I have been seeing it. I keep wanting to test it and flip it and see if it's ready. Just let it cook. Let it do its thing. Let it gel. And before you know it, you're going to have amazing gluten-free fried chicken. All right, we flipped our fried chicken. As you can see, it looks golden brown and delicious. The seasonings, you can see them kind of coming through on that. This is going to be amazing, so I cannot wait till this is fully cooked and ready to dive into. Okay, so our fried chicken is done. We are completely plated. How's that for YouTube magic? Because now we have, look at this. We've got, just like you would get at 50's Primetime Cafe, our fried chicken. Look how crispy it is. If you're into fried chicken, it's perfectly crisp. Again, you could use whole fried chicken pieces, or like I did, just a boneless, skinless chicken breast. You could use chicken thighs, you could use chicken drumsticks, whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. I also have mashed potatoes that I made just with some non-dairy milk and butter on top of that, like a vegan margarine spread. And then I also have, of course, your vegetables, because you have to eat your vegetables. Just some sauteed peas and carrots, which is what they normally serve at 50's Primetime Cafe. So there's that. Okay, so we are gonna dive in. I have to admit, I stopped the video and I did dig in already. I just want to make sure the chicken was done, because that is key. So it's great. So I've got my fried chicken, I've got a little bit of the mashed potatoes. I'm gonna put all this together. I'll get my vegetables in a second. Totally like what you get at 50's Primetime. Crisp and yummy, homey, delicious, great easy meal, perfect anytime. So of course, I definitely recommend making this. Again, super simple, easy to make, great to make for a large crowd or just for a couple people. So for my gluten-free Disney kitchen, thanks for watching this episode. Of course, if you loved learning about how to make the fried chicken from 50's Primetime Cafe, you're gonna wanna check out all the other videos that we have here for cooking. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. And of course, if you make this at home, be sure to tweet me at GFDF_WDW to share your photos and the different ways that you make this dish. Can't wait to see it. And of course, stay tuned for more recipes and more in-park fun here on my gluten-free Disney kitchen and gluten-free and dairy-free at Walt Disney World. We'll see you in the parks.